Welcome back to the Hockey Hosers podcast. I'm your host, Dave, with my panelists here, James and Logan. And today we are going to give you the best season preview,
Oh yeah.
starting with the Pacific Division. James, do you want to lead us off?
Oh, let's go. Let's get this going. All right, so in the Pacific Division.
So, yeah, we have last year set up on the
Yeah,
left there.
right there you can see our last year standings in the division. Team I have in last place is now this might be some bias because I'm just I'm not the biggest Anaheim Ducks fan in general, just beat my team a lot for like 15 years straight, but I don't know. I'm looking at their team. I have. We'll hold off too much discussion here. I have Anaheim Ducks finishing in last.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I personally don't think that the Ducks are going to be worse than last year. I don't know how much better they're going to be. I have them taking quite an improvement, but I have the Sharks personally doing worse than the Ducks this year.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as Dave. I think Sharks are gonna do bad. I'm gonna do like as a team standpoint, they're gonna be doing well
Well,
for a bunch
It's
of
gonna be hard to
rookies.
get 47 points again and
Yeah,
to somehow not improve on that.
For
as a team of
sure.
rookies, they're gonna look well, but I don't think they got the experience or the age to kind of keep up for an 82 game series or 82 game
They're I don't think they
season.
they can be as bad as last year
No,
though. Like that was tough. I have the Sharks in last place with 52 points
Oh yeah.
for a 5 point improvement, which I think they're going to be bad, but they're going to be really bad. But I think that we're going to see some growth. Like I think it's going to be closer. I think that their youth is going to be exciting. They might lose like a game like, 6-3 or 6-4, but
Yeah, I think that
they'll
sounds about right.
show some excitement for sure.
I just feel like the Ducks are just not quite there yet with the way they're set up. I think they're gonna have a lot of talent. They could hit throughout the years. I also just think they're gonna bleed a lot of goals this year.
How many
I do have
points?
them both. Oh, with points here. Yeah, I gotta get my points there. Logan, you had the Sharks in last as well, right?
yeah, I had them same as Dave. I think 54 points. I think I get one more win, but pretty
Oh
much
boy.
the same.
Yeah, no, I think that the bottom of the Pacific. I think that the order is going to be a little harder to predict. I think it'll be pretty close. Personally, I have the Sharks quite a bit below the rest of the teams, but I think that other than the playoff teams, it could be really hard to predict how the bottom of the Pacific plays out.
I'm gonna throw Ducks here with I'm gonna give him 58 here. I might totally mess up the points here. I haven't we'll see how that works.
For sure. Yeah, if we want to move on to our
All right.
next, I'll go first. I have the
Who wrote this
Flames
one?
in
Oh.
seventh place of the division with 67 points. I made that pick, and then after I looked at the daily face-off lineup combinations, and I honestly think that that might be an overestimate. They are bad. They're gonna be bad. They're gonna play in arguably the worst rink in the NHL, infrastructure-wise. Fans are excellent, top
That's
notch,
fair.
But I mean,
Thank you.
once they get the new arena in Calgary and they get some of their process showing up, things should turn around. But I think this is the start of the drop off. Like Kadri,
It really is because all
first
those
line
players who
center
are
is
getting
not the best.
Kadri
Huberdeau on the
has age as well.
third line at like $10 million
Yeah.
is that's just unforgivable.
I'm gonna move
Like
on. I'm gonna throw mine here. This is where I have San Jose. I think them and Anaheim are interchangeable. I'm gonna say 60 points for them. We'll
yeah,
see how
fair
my
enough.
math works out. Once again, I could see those flipping here. Logan, who do you have?
I have Anaheim too.
You
I'm
got
sorry.
Anaheim.
Second. I don't think there'll be much change in the bottom of Pacific. I think they'll get 60, 61 points probably. Like I don't think a huge change. They hasn't changed much as a team uh over the season, and they haven't really gained anyone. I mean, everyone went order, but
Mhm.
it's hard
Well,
to say
here's the
there's been
thing:
major changes that will win them games.
is it's easy to look at last year and be like, "Oh man, they were bad in the year before and stuff." But like their players are young. Like they're bad because they're young,
Yeah.
I think, and at some point that potential is going to show through. I think McTavish is going to be a really good player. I could see him taking a step this year. I think that Zegras has more to give. I'm not sure that Anaheim's the right team for him, but I think that this year he also is likely close to a point a game. Um, I just see too much potential with them.
I
I don't.
agree. I think that there's potential with him. I think just the fact that McTavish is entering into his second year, full year with
I
them.
think it's like his third, at least third year right now for
I thought he
McTavish.
A
was,
while,
I thought he was
especially on
Last year
bad
injured for
wasn't his
teams.
rookie year.
no, but he was injured for the first year though, for a bit. For actually, I think for a good portion of his first year, he was injured. So I think his second full year was
Yeah,
injured.
he's gonna take a huge step.
I think, yeah, but I think he also entered into that sophomore slump. A lot of good players do it, like Petey, for example, when he came was a Canucks.
Oh, I see. You think he's gonna be a
He
little bit slow. Same with like
they
I guess Leo
digress a little
Carlson
bit.
was injured.
Logan, let's hear your sixth pick for the Pacific.
It us.
Um, I got I got Calgary coming in at 6. I don't think they've improved at all this offseason.
I think they've gotten worse.
Yeah, in fact, I think they got
Oh,
worse.
they've clearly gotten worse.
I think because of that,
They're
I think they're
tearing it
gonna.
down.
I just don't think they're gonna do great. I do think though the coaching style they have in place is not keep them from being bottom. I think they got a good
hmm
system of defense.
Also, watching the players play and practice this preseason, and just obviously since they're my favorite team, I pay a lot of attention. Everyone seems to be having a really good time, and it's worth for teams in this position. It's so important how the vibes are because a lot of teams, when they're doing bad, everyone hates it. It's kind of nice that everyone is they understand it's the situation and they're there to just
Buffalo
have fun and play
Sabres.
hockey. Buffalo Sabres, there you go. I,
Kind of
they're
the marquee example there of
yeah,
how mentality can often undermine
exactly.
talent.
I'm right there with you. I also have my Flames here, and I'm not too I think there's gonna be a bit like a point difference. I could see the Flames. Let's just like have a step down from 81. I'm gonna put them at let's have some fun with. I'll give them 69 points.
Nice.
It is
Yeah,
nice.
that's about where I had them too, but I just think that another team gets more points to them, so I'll actually bring them up now. In sixth place in the division, I have Edmonton. I don't think I'm kidding. I have Anaheim. And I have them. This is a little optimistic, but I feel like I've been saying good things about them all summer, and I don't think I think that this is the year that they actually take a solid step. I have them with 77 points. I feel like that's pretty optimistic,
That is a big
and a
jump
lot would have to
going.
go right, but I
What's
think
that? An
that
18 point win. That's nine more wins than last season,
well,
or
okay, I
overtime losses as well.
I mean, 9-1's actually not that big of a change if you think about it. Like,
It could be. I guess if you look at a team like Calgary's going to be losing, like a Calgary here if they're
there yeah,
losing
there'll be points to be
14
had in this
points.
division, I think. Uh
I think there could be a lot of yeah.
Maybe I'm off the chain with that
That's
prediction.
not too
You
off the
know,
chain. I can
I
see
hit the
that.
pipe a little too hard, but maybe closer to 72, 73 points, I think is more realistic. But I do see them taking a step this year, and I think they jump the Flames. I think the Flames have when I like when I look at I think vibes. I think that's the best way you said it was vibes. The vibes are so much worse, I think, as far as like when you see Huberdeau on the third line in Calgary versus the year
hmm
Vetrano had. Like, I just think the vets in Calgary aren't gonna get a lot better, and I think that
That's
the young
true.
players in Anaheim are gonna get better, and I think that the vets in Anaheim are gonna at least kind of stay the same.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they're gonna fall off a cliff and at all.
Calgary doesn't really have like any like young like stars on the roster right now that are
No, we
like,
have a lot of
okay,
people
this
who
is
need
gonna
to
take
prove
this guy's
themselves.
place. And I think you just have a lot of guys who just aren't ready yet. So
Yeah,
it'll
I
be a
see what you
couple
mean.
years, but
Logan, where do you see Calgary finishing with points?
actually, Calgary finishing 71. I think I'll lose 5 more games than
All
last
right.
year. New goalie in net.
All right, Dave,
Not a bad goalie though.
hit us with your fifth place.
in fifth place, I have the Seattle Kraken.
Is this going to be a very quick fifth place one? Because I'll give you a hint. It's also where I have the Seattle Kraken.
Yes,
I
same.
have them, yeah, I have them with 88 points.
That's a bit
I think
higher
that
than
they I think
that's
they
a bit
improve over
higher.
last year. I think last year was kind of a off year for them, but I think that like I don't hate like the roster's one thing, but I look at what they've done behind the bench with Jessica hiring Jessica Campbell and just the kind of
Hmm.
mentality around the team. And it
I think that's going
seems
to
like
change a
they're
lot since last
very
year.
process oriented and they're not like they don't seem like a reactionary team who like gets bad results and then just like they seem like they're really committed to actually doing something right in Seattle. So I think that they're going to have like a steady climb sort of toward the playoffs over the next few years as they kind of accumulate talent and get this is a brand new team, right? Like they don't really have an identity yet. I think they're going to start to kind of form their identity this year. And I think they I don't think they make the playoffs. I think they can get pretty close, but I think 88 points
Hmm.
would be a great improvement over last year for them.
I'm on a similar page here. I think that they're still. I'm not that big of a fan of the roster. I don't. I have them finishing with about 84 points here, which is it's it could be that there's in the conversation for the playoffs at times for at some point of the year, and then they fall off a little bit. I'm just still not confident with how some of the play like with the actual skill on the roster. You look, there are players that like Jared McCann scored 40 goals. Do I think he's a 40 goal scorer again? Not really. They have a lot of young talent who can really step it up. Beniers did have a bad year last year. We know he's going to be really good. Shane Wright coming in, but it's his rookie year.
Hmm.
I'm confident Joey
Yeah.
Dacord's played really well. I'm not
If
that
I'm in an
confident in
opposing
Grubauer.
bench and Shane Wright's on the ice, stay down, I'm pretty scared.
Yeah,
He's got a
he's still
mean
just
look on
like
that
he's
kid.
a rookie.
He does
Logan,
got
I'm
me
we're,
gonna
luck.
joke at his
Logan, are
stupid
you gonna make
draft
us
stare down shit.
same across the board?
Yeah, I have Seattle finishing. I don't think
Okay,
there'll be a
so
major change.
does this guarantee that
How
Seattle
many points?
is not finishing fifth in division?
No, they're
No, they're
definitely
finishing fifth in
finishing.
the division. I think that's one of the easiest things that because they're
Yeah.
visually better than the teams below them, and they're also visually worse than the teams above them. I could see
Yeah.
them potentially swapping places with spoiler alert, my fourth team in the division, the Los Angeles Kings. If
Oh,
we want to actually,
Logan, where do you have
we
for
can move on right
points?
now after you give your
Oh,
points.
yeah, 84, 86. I would say it's kind of around the
You're
same
gonna say
area.
about 86 here? Oh, I don't know what happened
Yeah,
there.
Keep it
just a
around the
few wins
same.
more than last year for sure. So yeah, I have the Kings at fourth place. I think that they, I have them with 93 points.
Oh yeah.
I don't necessarily think that they've gotten a lot worse. I think that just teams have gotten better around them and they haven't
Hmm.
really stayed the same. I think they're going to lose a couple more points. I still think they're going to make the playoffs. I still think they're going to get bounced in round one. Um, but yeah, I kind of have them as a wild card team there. I could see Seattle and them switching places depending on, injuries and who gets hot and obviously
Hmm.
goaltending's a huge factor. I think a lot of what I don't think Seattle's goaltending is great. I think it's going to probably be similar to last year, which is, why I have them only
Hmm.
improving a little bit. But if Los Angeles goaltending craters, if their defensive system isn't as strong, if Phil Deneau misses some games, like I could totally see Seattle making the wild card over them.
Hmm. I have so I have LA finishing fourth in the division. I really do like LA's some of their top line talent. Adrian Kempe is really underrated. Him, Kopitar, and Byfield, when they were on the line at the end of the year together, were absolutely electric. And I think Byfield's going to take another really big step forward here. And also considering some players, Fiala, I think is going to have a bounce back from last year now that he's not in line with Dubois. I still, though, I have just some problems with this team, and a lot of it just comes down to management and the way things have the way what has happened around this team for the past couple years, where they've seen so much change of we're sending these prospects out for this guy, bringing this guy in. Now we're going to change this around. They've had a total revolving door in net, and I think Kemper is going to be like he's a really consistent goalie. He's never been game breaking, but you kind of know what you're going to get with him night in, night out, and it should be enough for them to do all right. However, though, I feel like that sort of change and overturn in the lineup often has impacts on the team. I have them with about I'm gonna say 92 points here. And I think I have the Kings missing the playoffs, and I think it's gonna be really close. I have 5 teams in the Central making it.
Understandable. Totally. I get it. I actually have the Kings barely making the playoffs when we get to our central predictions, so it'll
Mhm.
become a little more clear.
And if it
But yeah,
looks
I
like
think
I'm
they're
taking
kind
a
of in
lot of
that. Well,
it,
people
if it
talked
looks
a
like
lot
I
last
keep,
year
yeah.
about the mushy middle,
Mhm.
specifically in the Metro and in the East. I think the Kings are kind of like the mushy middle in the West. Like they're right in the middle
Yeah,
of
I
that.
think
I
so.
think them. I think Seattle. Um,
I'm not gonna spoil
I'll wait
my
till I'll wait till our central to
teams in the
get more of
Central
those mushy
division.
middle teams, but those two, I could see
Yeah.
them. I could see them, finishing. I could see the Kings as high as third in the division. I could see them as low as fifth. Like it,
I think
we'll
that this
see.
is how far they'll drop. I don't see that Seattle has the ability to jump them. It's more that I don't think the Kings could fall low enough with the current roster they have to jump them. I do think that losing Drew Doughty for possibly like 2 to 3 months to start the season, even though they have so many young guys on defense and they have some good role players there with Gavrikov, Evanson, even though Evanson's really overpaid, I think that's going to have a big impact on the way they start the season. And I don't expect them to have a hot start, which is going to make it difficult. And they're going to be in that will they, won't they make the wild card all year.
Uh,
Logan,
I'm gonna go as the Knights finishing
Ooh.
fourth. They just have like they lost Marchessault, they lost Martinez, they lost Riley Smith. Like there's been a huge deficit on their side. They lost Thompson. Like
that's true.
haven't really
Eh,
made up the losses that
Yeah.
they've
well,
Isn't
went
well,
he
through.
the Thompson
don't
thing is
let's hey
really weird to me because
let's not just look at the talent loss and like the paper, but think about the locker room
Yeah, like
and
yeah.
this is
about these guys, like who they know on the team and the culture as well.
yeah. And especially was what Marshall said after he left about how he's feeling like the management of St. Marsh of Vegas was just lowballing him was his offers. Like I feel like that just gotta affect the morale of the dressing room coming in. Like you gotta know that
I think so.
Yeah, why do
one
I
of
play
the
well for you? You're not going to pay me anyway. You're
yeah,
just going to
one of
ship me
your
out the moment I,
starters, like
start to my value goes up.
like one of the best players that they picked up from the expansion draft who overperformed for what he was
Conn
doing.
Smythe winner, Jonathan
Conn
March.
Smythe
So
winner,
Yeah,
Jonathan
and he
Marchessault.
gets like he didn't sign for as much money as what I thought he could have made
because
in
there was
Nashville. He got
interviews
like
with him. He was talking to
7
the
mil.
media that he would have taken a deal to stay in Vegas, but the
Yeah,
offer that they sent to him was just so ridiculously low that it was insulting. Like if they'd offered, because what he signed for around 7 million, something like that. I think he was saying he probably would have signed for somewhere like 5.5 to 6 million, but
yeah,
Vegas
like
was offering him 4 million,
yeah, like that's
which
just
is insane.
he signed a $7 million deal for a Conn
Yeah,
Smythe winner. That's not bad. Like you look at what Florida offered Sam Reinhart, I think it was.
So I'm going to
Feels
give you
good.
some reasons why I personally see Vegas still making the playoffs. Number one, Jack Eichel, Mark Stone.
yeah.
I
Well,
think they're
yeah,
gonna
that's true.
Barbashev as well. Like I think that first line, I think they're
Their
gonna be
center
killers.
depth. Their center depth
Tomas
is still
Hertl
insane. It's Barbashev, Hurdle.
is a really good player too.
Nick
Uh,
was their fourth. Nick was a fourth line center. He's a really good depth forward for them. There's another one that's going to be glaring me
Carlson,
in the face here. What was
William
Brett
that?
Howden,
Carlson,
And then William
William Carlson.
Carlson.
Carlson for
William
sure.
Carlson, third line center there.
Their decor is
Still stacked. Hanifin,
top
Petrangelo,
Yeah,
Shea Theodore, Braden
top
McNabb,
six in the league.
and it's like White Cloud and Nick Hague. That is an
That's
insane
a
decor
playoff.
still.
That's a playoff decor for sure. Yeah, and
All of them are huge. I do have
that's
some questions about
I
net because they traded
oh,
away.
absolutely all the questions in
So
net.
they traded Logan Thompson and
Yes.
signed Samsonov. I have a couple points. They signed Samsonov for twice as much as Logan Thompson was making. And there's a one argument to be had is that Logan Thompson has had some serious injuries, but when he's been healthy, I I strongly believe Logan Thompson is the better goalie right now.
Well,
Especially
here's the
since
thing.
Samsonov, like last season for the first half of the year, Samsonov was unplayable. That's how bad he was.
I think if you just put a bungee cord between Samsonov and his posts,
Yeah.
I think you're fine. He has
Oh,
the
it's great.
athletic ability. He has everything. He just
Needs to stay in his
whatever
net.
like spatial computer in his brain where he can locate relative to his body position, his acceleration laterally, where his posts remain. That's an issue.
Mhm.
Uh, no, I don't. I think Samsonov,
I think he'll be fine for
he's a
them,
backup.
but
I think he
it
might
doesn't
start
mean
20 something games and he might get waived if he's brutal. Like it's
exactly.
really the last kind of chance for this guy.
This is the same question though. Why would you trade Logan Thompson here? Why not just keep Logan? Because Logan Thompson was making
Because Vegas,
760,000 for this year and next year, and he's the better goalie. I think
Vegas.
that last year in the playoffs, he actually played better than Aiden Hill.
That's Stanley Cup champion Aiden Hill.
And Logan Thompson's also Stanley Cup
Oh, well,
champion.
yes, but like
He would have been their starter in that playoff
who was on
run
the
had
ice
he
when they
not been
lifted the
injured.
cup?
Yeah, he was injured, but yeah,
I
Aiden
think
Hill
he
won them
did
that
lift the
cup.
cup too.
Yeah,
I run with
in
Hill.
that year, Aiden Hill was better that year. I'm saying specifically last year in their 7 game series against Dallas, watching those games.
I run with
Statistically,
Hill.
Aiden Hill had better stats, but in actually watching the play, Logan
Like,
Thompson
okay,
held them in some games that they shouldn't have been in.
they don't have elite goalies, but I think Hill is good enough. I think
Yeah, I
Hill and
just don't
Logan
know why you
Thompson, I
would
think they're
keep
kind
Taylor
of
too.
I totally get it, but they're Vegas, they just don't care.
Yeah, it's on
Hear me
brand
out.
for them.
I'm all down for the downfall of the Vegas Golden Knights. I
All
don't
right.
think it's happening soon. I would love to be wrong, but
No, they're gonna keep
yeah,
cycling
I
this.
have them obviously. I clearly since we've talked about it so much, I have them in fourth place, 98 points.
Third place,
Uh,
98 points.
sorry, third
Oh,
place, 98
whoopsies.
points. I have them the same amount of points as last year, but I just think that the Kings lose a bit of points and the rest of the division gains a bit of points.
Logan, how many points do you have the Golden Knights at before
I had
we
them
move on to
with
there?
95. I don't think I lose a ton. I think they're still
Do
gonna
you
be
have
this.
them making the playoffs?
Um, yeah, I could see them still making playoffs. I don't think any major changes who makes
Yeah,
playoffs this year from the Western side as it will be with the
yeah.
Eastern Division.
I think that I don't. This might be the hottest take of the whole thing. I don't see Mark Stone missing half the year on LTIR
That
just
is the
based on his
hottest take.
interviews at the end. I think that is the hottest take. I have them with 101 points.
Blasphemy.
That is the hottest take. I would not see that at all. He's definitely going to be injured halfway through the season.
I don't think.
Maybe
And
like a couple months, maybe
I think
like 1 to 2 months.
I
and
think if
then
Mark Stone misses that many games, I don't think they finish
no,
I
as high
still
as we
have them
have them.
around there.
Also,
you guys are all wrong. What's
yeah,
happened?
I don't think Mark
All right,
Stone's
who do you
gonna
have here,
miss the whole
Logan?
season
Let's hear
either.
Wait,
it.
before this, Mark Stone's gonna get injured. They're gonna sign Crosby. They're gonna take Crosby and then trade, and then Mark Stone's gonna come back mysteriously again. First day of playoffs. It happens every year for Vegas. It's gonna happen again. I
So,
have LA.
Logan, why do you have the Kings above the Oilers?
Yeah.
No, I have the
What's
Kings.
up with that?
I have the Oilers above
Kings.
the Kings. It's definitely Kings
Yeah, why do you
second.
have the Oilers in third?
Yeah. Um,
I'm gonna take a
Kings.
guess.
Kings with how many points?
Um, I think 101. I think what James said for the Edmonton. I don't think they'll win as
Wow,
much
copycat.
games.
Get some
I don't think they'll
original
win more
takes here,
games,
Logan.
but
What do you see in the Kings that puts them above the Golden Knights for
I
you?
feel like the fact that everyone's kind of lowballing on Kemper. Like LA did awesome last year with Talbot in that,
Hmm.
and Talbot's shaky. He can win you games, but he will lose you twice as many games as he won for you. And they got 99 points last year with
Hey,
Talbot.
what about Calgary Flames legend Big Save Dave?
Well,
Yes,
Big Save
big
David.
big Civ
he's
Dave.
he's not bad
Yeah,
either,
Big Save.
but
He is no, he's
he can
not
also shit the
great.
bed either.
No, he mostly
Kemper
kind
is
of
Kemper's a
lets in a bunch of
consistent
weird
goalie.
goals.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
And the way LA plays,
Again, he shouldn't be playing more than 20 games.
Dave,
You mean Riddick, not
right?
Kemper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kemper's
Yeah,
a
you have Copley in there. He can be okay, but he
yeah.
really should be a third stringer.
Kemper's he's not a great goalie. I want to say like, oh my God, he's a winning
he's
games. Like
fine.
he's like Demko, but he's a good
He's
goalie.
not going to lose you a game, but yeah, he's not
Yeah,
going to steal a
he
game
won't,
for
he's not
you.
gonna
If
shit
your
the
team
bed.
plays well enough to win in front of him, he'll give you a chance to win for
Yeah,
sure.
and
Yeah,
that's exactly
Colorado
the
won with
team
him,
that.
and he didn't have stellar stats.
Yeah.
They didn't need
Oh
him
yeah,
to.
yeah. That's
They're also
exactly.
not
Yeah.
Colorado.
Well, yeah.
All right.
Colorado, I think, is more of a defensive liability than LA will be. And
This
for
season, for
playoffs,
sure. When Kemper
just
was with
in general,
Colorado,
even then, I'd say it's just compared to the style. LA, sorry, Avalanche, Colorado is more of a run and gun team. I mean, you kind of have to
They're a
with,
one-line team again
yeah,
this year.
they're
I
the same
Yeah.
as Edmonton. They're
If
running
you,
like
guns.
Middlestat's a good center, but unless you have
yeah,
another elite winger or two.
you're hoping and praying that Landeskog and Nichushkin can
Well,
come back.
Middlestat's not gonna make a player look elite, Like he's not
No.
that guy. He's a complementary piece. Like if you
Yeah.
have Middlestat along two other solid wingers, that's a
He can
those are
work
those
really
are
well
two
as a
first
second line
lines right there
center.
or whatever. But I just think that there's so much better forward depth. Now,
Yeah.
Colorado's defense, well, that's another story. But
Oh, they're amazing.
yeah, if we're
They're
talking
a
forward depth, and yeah,
Colorado's a good defensive, like
Okay, we can
offensive team,
before
but
we
we can we,
talk
can- we can
about
talk we can talk
Colorado
about that when we
here,
get to
yeah,
eighth place of the
I'm gonna move
Central.
on here because in second in the Pacific, I have the Vancouver Canucks. I
Ooh,
have the Vancouver Canucks. I do have a significant jump up in points. I have them with 112 points. I think that what this team did in the offseason has set them up really well. I love the addition of Jake DeBrusk in the top six of their forward group. I think it really rounds out some players they need. Having him as a power
Sprong,
forward to play with Pettersson.
Sprong and
Sprong is
DeBrusque
such a
gonna do
good
miracles
clutch
for PD.
goal scorer. Hoglander's going to be a year older.
Holander
I
will
think
look
that
good
their
in the first.
defense, even though they lost well, they lost Zadorov. Who else did they lose from their bottoms
Cole,
four? Cole. Those
Lafferty.
two, how their defense though. However,
Oh, defense, yeah.
the players they signed Forbert, who I think is just he's a reliable bottom pairing defenseman. He's not going to cost a game for you. He's just like you know what you get with him. And Vinny Desharnais, who the Seaweed Man, one of oh my nickname. He's just
Yeah,
a
no, with
big
the
body. Who knows how it's going to be when he ends up having to defend McDavid coming after him.
for sure.
But
Well,
he's going to
like
be there's some upside there.
I look at the Canucks decor and I think like if you're starting the playoffs with that as like your lineup, I think that's fine. I think that's good. But
Yeah, you
again,
want
injuries
something
happen.
more.
I don't like their depth. Like their next man, I think they have a next man
No.
up problem in Vancouver
They don't
as
have
far as the D
a
goes.
good seventh defenseman.
No, like after you get the six guys, like it kind of gets iffy. And if you lose two defensemen, like that is a
You're in some
that
serious
that
trouble.
that
They
yeah,
need to
that's some serious
sign.
trouble. They
They
need
need
to pick up
to. Yeah.
another guy who's like solid.
However, this is going to be trade deadline. We're just talking regular season. I think that they're going to have another explosive year.
I think Rasmus Anderson would make a great Canuck.
Are you sure you guys are going to want to trade with us? We'll take Lekaramaki and
Yeah.
Yes,
DP
the
per
Canucks
Anderson.
and Flames notorious for never trading with each other.
I'm just thinking about how we fleeced you with the Lindholm trade. If you want to do that again.
Yeah.
Anyways, Logan, who do you have second in your
I
Pacific
have
Division?
Vancouver too. I have Vancouver as
Hmm.
well. I'm going under the impression that Edmonton's not going to start off shit this year.
No,
So
I
they
think
won't be losing 7-1 eighth game they play.
last year there was like a 7 game stretch or that it was obvious that McDavid was injured from when he collided with Evander Kane.
Yeah.
And I don't so that was basically what sewered them for those few games. All right.
And I got 108 points. I think
108.
I think
Okay.
I win more games, but I think just the fact that Demko's out, and I think when he comes back, he's gonna suffer a little bit. Just like
Hmm.
having to learn to play new. I think he'll get a couple losses under his belt before he kind of gets used to his playing style.
I could see
I'll
that.
throw him off.
And with
Hmm.
regard to the other two goalies, I personally am not too concerned because Lankinen as well, he's been about a career 910 save percentage really consistently. And Seelovs has the potential. He's looked amazing this preseason.
Yeah, no,
And he looked
For sure.
really good last year in the playoffs, so he could shine. Possible Calder trophy candidate?
No.
he lost.
Not
No,
quite.
No.
I don't know.
No.
Worth
I think
asking.
I think any
I
other year
think
he would win it,
I
but
think
not this year.
I think for a goalie to win the Calder, you have to be above and beyond. And I just don't I think the Canucks are too good for him to shine, if that
That's
makes
true.
any
You'd want to
sense.
see
They're
it on
gonna
a
have
different team.
there's only one puck, and I don't think it's gonna be in Shilov's end a lot.
That's true because if he had, let's say he posted a 920 save percentage, but everyone's gonna be like, oh no, but the Canucks were if they post these insane point totals, the Canucks were amazing. He didn't need to If
Yeah.
he was on a worse team, it would have got lit up. That argument.
It's gonna go to a flashy offensive player like
Oh yeah,
Michkov or something like that, I think.
Yeah, it's gonna go to Mitch
P
Kelvin.
Loves could be like a really really good fourth overall card in
Celebrini,
Calder votes.
we'll
Yeah.
see.
Like
I
finishing fourth
have
in Calder.
in the second of the Pacific, I have the Edmonton Oilers,
Oh
which means I have the Canucks in first if you just want to fill the
yeah, I
rest of
can
it
fill
out.
those in.
I think that I have the Oilers at 105 points and I have the Canucks at 107 points. I think it's going to be razor thin between these teams all year. But I think what gives Vancouver the edge is I think they have a deeper team. I think that it's obvious that Edmonton has a lot more high-end talent, or their high-end talent is just another level. But I think that over an entire regular season, obviously, I don't think Edmonton starts off as worse, but I also don't think they have that 16 win streak or whatever that was again. I
Mhm.
think they're just going to be consistently good. I think it's going to be down to the wire. I think the order that you have these two teams really doesn't matter because
I
they're
feel like
not
it's
going to
gonna
be playing
flip
each
a
other
lot
in the
this
first
season.
round. And by the time that they meet in the playoffs, if they meet, I think that the regular season won't matter. I also don't think the Oilers are really playing for the division title. I think they're playing for. I think the Oilers they want the cup. I think the Canucks also want the cup, but I think the regular season might be more of an accomplishment for Vancouver, and they might, feel better about
Yeah.
getting first in the division again than the Oilers, who
Mhm.
just know that that doesn't matter.
My rationale, I have Oilers absolutely destroying it. I have the Oilers winning the President's Trophy.
Also, the
And my
Oilers,
reasoning is my
you
reasoning
you think
behind
everyone's healthy?
no,
Like
my
they went to
reason
game
though.
7 of the Cup final
Mhm.
not that long ago. Like they're gonna be hurting. I don't think they're gonna be as hot out of the gate as everyone thinks.
My reasoning for this is I just think that everyone's going to be coming into this extremely angry. I also look
And they did
and
last year, and they sucked.
they
No,
in
seriously.
their middle
No,
six, they have a lot of
they
players.
lost to Vegas, and they were so mad, and it was cup or bust. And then the regular season opens last year, and they lose like 10 in a row or some shit. What, like,
Yeah,
just being mad doesn't mean you're good.
I don't know. I think that they're gonna light up a few teams at the start of the season.
I
Like I'm looking
disagree.
at Edmonton's second game, like
I
game of the
disagree. I
season
don't.
against Chicago.
No.
And
I think that they're gonna be. I think they're gonna be good for sure. I agree, but I don't think they're gonna be. I don't think they're gonna eat the league alive. Like
all
they're gonna
right,
be
well I guess
conserving their energy for the playoffs. McDavid's not gonna be going full tilt in the regular season. And everyone thinks he's not. He's gonna be like, I need to be healthy because I need to win a cup. And if I need to, like, I'm not going to go 110% on a breakaway in like a 5-3 game against the St. Louis Blues, for example. He's going to be playing at 90. Like, he's just going to be trying to be as healthy as possible for the playoffs. They're going to make the playoffs. They know they're going to make the playoffs. They're not going to have as bad of a start as last year, but I don't think they're just going to run away with the league, especially with how hard they played through that playoffs. There's going to be some lingering injuries. And I don't think Knobloch is an amazing coach, too. Hot take, but I think they're going to be a
Mhm.
good team, but I think that that's way too high.
I agree with Dave. I actually think they're going to win. Like, I think I get 109 points. I think they're just barely going to beat the Canucks for first in
Oh yeah,
Pacific.
I think it's gonna be
Yeah,
tight. I don't
it's
think the
either
Oilers are
way.
gonna run away with it at
No,
all.
they're going to play it safe. They're going to be hurt. Like even
I might
now,
have put the points a bit high on this.
Canes, yeah, Canes
Point
a
I don't
little
know.
later,
higher.
This
it's
is what I
okay.
said. My points are kind of rudimentary with how I had them set up.
Yeah.
All right, well that's our Pacific Division. We have a lot to
Yeah.
get through,
I
so
think it's time to move on
we need
to
to move on and speed this up.